I apologize for that last video, guys. I watched this really hard to hear in some spots just because how loud the cars are. Alright, back out here in the carport garage. I just woke up. Just jumped out of bed because I know I'm going to be working on cars. Usually take a shower in the morning, but if I know I'm coming out here to work on cars, I just come out here and work on cars and take a shower later. But anyway, the LT1, we did the transmission on yesterday. Tail housing was leaking. If y'all watched that last video, that's a spot from Thursday night, and it was all the way up around here too, as you can see the stain. Tail housing had come loose off the back of the transmission. His rear end vibrates a little bit. It vibrates that torque arm, and the torque arm's connected to the tail shaft on the transmission. I'm pretty sure that's what caused it. But I Loctited all the bolts and tightened it up, and it looks like it's still leaking just a little. That's the new spot. I pulled it farther forward. So that's what it leaked last night. But then again, that could just be what was left over. The cross member was soaked. That might just be coming off the cross member where it was all soaked. I didn't clean it all up really good. I only jacked the car up far enough I could reach in there and well, I could have cleaned it off. I just didn't. But so it's probably going to leak a few drops. But if it does keep doing that, then it probably burnt the seal. But anyway, I'll go ahead and let him take it, and if it keeps leaking a couple drops, then he can just bring it back, and then I'll have to drop the exhaust, more than likely, because that Y pipe comes right, it meets like right there. I'll have to jack it all the way up, take the drive shaft out, take the tail housing off, replace the seal from the transmission to the tail housing, and replace the seal where the drive shaft goes in. But I don't know. I think that was just left over from the cross member being caked in transmission fluid. And I don't know. He's going to get some radials and race that. We'll get a video of that. It's just a bolt-on car with a cam. Hater Maker 2 Thick Performance with a mail order tune. I mean, it's got all the bolt-ons too. They're full. I forget what. It's got most of the bolt-ons. It's got a gear and a stall converter. But on this one, we found out yesterday it was the two-step that was causing it to cut out. The reason I found that out is, which it didn't dawn on me right away, and it should have, but sitting in the driveway, I turned the two-step up to like 4,900 just so I could get it on the two-step and rev it up and down and see what it was doing. And then I took it for a ride. I just turned the 1,000 mark. Like on this, I turned it up to 35, but that tacks off a little. It doesn't actually start doing it until 36. But I turned it to 1,000 up to 46, and I drove it, and it didn't start cutting out until about 4,700, 4,800 RPM. And I thought, oh, maybe I got the tune right now, so maybe it just needs cleaned up. This, from that RPM up now. And I thought it was the tune, so I put that back where it to 36. Then it started doing it at 36 again. And again, it didn't dawn on me until yesterday. I was like, you know what? It might be that two-step. And apparently, you're not supposed to have these wires close to the cool packs. And they've always been there, but now they got these big fuel lines pushing down on them. So that might be why. Plus, this is the trans brake wire to activate the two-step. So I'm gonna reroute all this and see if we can't get that to working again. Them things are 300 bucks. If we can't get it to working again, then we'll have to order another one. Chickens are going crazy. I got them on my grass, don't judge me. That's a silky. He's a male. And then we got that male. So we got 3 hens. We got the back down poo. I put 2 ladders together because I'm fat. But yeah. Also, I had thought maybe it was the surge tank because this didn't start happening until I put the surge tank in it. So I bypassed the surge tank. So I need to put that all back the way it was and then drive it and make sure it's not going to do it with the surge tank hooked back up. I'm sure it won't, but just for testing purposes. And then we need to reroute these cool wires and hook this LNC 2000 back up and see if we can't get our two-step function back. If not, we'll have to replace that. That is what's on the agenda today. If we can get all this working right, I'll probably go tune on it some. And if we can get the two-step working again, might go race it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. So actually that stuff I can do on that one. It don't need to be in the garage. So we'll go ahead and put that one in the garage because we need to run the oil drain to the, well, the most important things. Run the oil drain to the oil pan, make it more downhill. And 4.9" on that thing leaks on both sides. We're gonna pull the axles and put some of this special RTV on it. Permatex, see if we can't get it to stop leaking. Now I got this one in the garage, and the transmission was slipping. So here's where it was parked, and his is leaking transmission fluid too, right there. But I put another cord in it, and it drove just fine. But definitely need to, while we're down there taking the oil pan off for the turbo drain, definitely need to figure out where it's leaking transmission fluid at. Alright, hook that all back up the way it goes. Alright, check for leaks. There's no leaks. And start the car, ran it. All seems good. Now we'll go get the laptop and we'll drive it and we'll make sure that it's not going to cut out with the surge tank hooked up. Then we'll mess with the two-step wires some, see if we can't figure out why it's doing that. Well, everything still works good. A little lean, not much. Gotta fatten it up top. Gotta lean it out down low and fatten it up. So you cruise, that's way too fat. And then wide open throttle, a little too lean. But it's running good again. Alright, made another hit. Wide open throttle AFR was 11.6, 11.7. We'll probably add 2% to that. Call that good, but down low it's stupid fat. It's amazing how much how low the table has to be down low and how high it has to be up top, but I'll keep adjusting on it. So after some experimenting, trying to get the idle AFR and the cruise AFR right, it ain't gonna happen with both them pumps running. So I'm gonna have to get a Hobbs switch for 4 or 5 pounds of boost, so to turn that second pump on only when boost comes in. Because right now, like I can show you, I can get the idle perfect 14.7, 15. I hook that other pump up, shoots over to 12. That's another on the list to do. Order a Hobbs switch Not sure where we're going to put it, but we need something that's going to read that boost, and then at 4 pounds complete a ground circuit, and once it completes the ground circuit, turns that other pump on. See, so watch, it's about where you want it for a cam car. Let's turn that other pump on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I guess the regulator return just can't handle all that. Jumps to 12, 9, 13, and then we'll unhook it. All right, climbing back up. And also, see how these wires, these fuel lines, I put them on top of these wires for the LNC 2000, and it's pushed them all right down on the coil wires. According to the LNC troubleshooting guide, that is a no-no. So we'll reroute those different, and then get wire loom that'll go all the way up to the very top, and maybe zip tie them back, run them over the fuel rails, maybe zip tie them to the fuel rail, the fuel lines and the fuel rail, and then come over. And hopefully that fixes that, because we got to have a two-step. If not, we'll have to order another one. Alright, so the game plan is put a hob switch in here. I'll probably drill it in down there somewhere. Or maybe I can have another filton welded up here. I don't know. But anyway, a hob switch that will complete the ground circuit at about 4 pounds. And then I'll just run the ground off this relay for the second pump, instead of running it back over here to the power block. I'll run it all the way back up, just like I did the trigger wire for the relay. I run it all the way back to the front of the car, and because both these pumps run, I can't get the tune right. It's just too much fuel down low. And then these lines here, these are 10 gauge. I'm going to change these to 4 gauge over here, and then I'm going to change them from, I think these are 12, and I'm going to change those to 10 or 6, 10, 8 or 6 from here to there, because when the car is running, I got about 13.8 over there. I only got about 12.8 over here. 12.8 over here. And then once we do that, then we can get a dyno tune, because there ain't no sense tuning it with that, like that, because that just ain't gonna work. And then we got to put the street tires on it. And then they sent me 2 wastegate springs for those wastegates. One was supposed to be a 7, one was supposed to be a 13. Well, with a boost controller turned all the way down, both them springs give me 4 or 5 pounds of boost. So hopefully if we put both of them in, it'll give us about 8, and then we can turn it up to 14. But game plan. But I'm gonna have to order some parts for that to do all that. I had to get some wires and some terminals that'll fit some 4 and 6 gauge wire. I'll probably just run all 4 gauge, why not? And then I have to order a hop switch. I had all these fuel lines on it, and there was a bunch of exposed wire, and it was right up against the coils. Apparently that's a big no-no. So we've wire loomed them all the way up. Got the wires off the coils, ran those like that to get everything off of there. And then the other side, I did the same thing. So let's test drive it and see if it still does it now. He's leaving in the LT1 here. They come and got it. I parked it over there in the driveway and it didn't leak a drop that time. I drove it around some guy who has an LT1 came and bought my fans, my stock fans. I took him for a ride in and parked it in the driveway, and didn't leak drop. But anyway, I didn't even have to drive this thing. In park, it wouldn't even hardly start. And then in park, I revved it up, 3,600. It's like it tries to hit the two-step. It doesn't completely hit the two-step, but it's like it's trying to hit the two-step. So I checked my orange and yellow. Yellow 12 volt to activate. It's not getting any voltage through there at all. I'm gonna double check that. All right. So this comes off this relay, and it energizes the trans brake and the two-step. So there's no volts going through there because the two-step or the trans brake would come on. They share the same wire. But anyway, I started it, revved it, had the girlfriend rev it, checked the volts here, nothing at all. And then she pushes the button, boom, it gets voltage. That's the only time it gets voltage. So it must be done. I have to get a new box. So I hadn't took it off. Yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. Like, subscribe, have a great day.